Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all feeling well and finding interesting ways to pass the time. This lesson should be kind of short because its main focus is counterclaims, and we've done those a few times. But before we start with that, just want to remind you, please remember to link your assignments to the share pages. Remember you did this for your leads. Commenting on each other's assignments, providing feedback is so important. Offering encouragement is motivating. Asking questions really helps writers to clarify what parts of their essays need a little bit more work, are a little confusing. And asking for more evidence, suggesting that people add more evidence is really helpful so students know when to elaborate more. So please be sure that you're giving feedback. And remember to use this link, if I can get it open, about peer feedback, because it has lots of suggestions, lots of sentence starters for your comments. So please be sure to help each other out and do that commenting. Now, we'll put our slides back up for counterclaims. So just like the other lessons, I'm going to start with our writing target and the success criterion and the information from the checklist. So if you look at elaboration, counterclaim comes under elaboration. I analyze the relevance of the reasons and evidence for my claims as well as for the counterclaims. So that means you're giving reasons and evidence for the counterclaims. You're not just plopping a counterclaim in. And I help the reader understand what each position is saying. I made sure all of my analysis led my readers to follow my line of argument. So don't forget the rebuttal part. After you give a counterclaim, you have to make sure you show your reader why you're right and they're not. And the counterclaim is not. So the success criterion that go with that, I can explain reasons and evidence for the counterclaim, and I can explain why the evidence for my position is stronger than the counterclaim. So that's the rebuttal part. Okay, here's an example of a counterclaim paragraph. So let's just kind of go through this. While many, and notice it starts with a topic sentence, while many claim that sports are negative for young people, with many injuries and wrong lessons, so those are the two counterclaims, injuries and wrong lessons, I find that sports are actually very rewarding for young people. So that's a topic sentence that includes the counterclaims and just a short rebuttal. Now we're going to give a little evidence for the counterclaim, because remember in 8th grade, you have to provide, you have to be fair to other positions, so you have to provide some evidence even for the counterclaims. Jeffrey Perkel, in his article, High School College Football Comes with a Risk, describes how football can be particularly dangerous. Okay, so there's some support for that many injuries argument. But, we're already starting to rebut, but he doesn't describe the many sports that are much less dangerous or the dangers of obesity, inactivity, and loneliness. So a pretty strong rebuttal. That was the first counterclaim. Now here's another one. So in one paragraph, you can offer more than one counterclaim. Some say that children are being taught that winning is the only thing that matters. And it is true that in recent society there has been an emphasis on winning. It is also said that kids who are enveloped in pressure stemming from sports are more likely to burn out sooner. So 2 more counterclaims there. But a study in Michigan reveals that kids who, and here's our rebuttal, kids who play sports actually have more aspirations and are more likely to set and achieve goals. Pretty strong rebuttal. This highlights, I'm going to explain it a little bit more, this highlights how though impressionable kids may be taught questionable lessons, the journey they take to winning is much more rewarding. So counterclaims all in one paragraph in this example. Now I'm going to go to another writing target, transitions, just to remind you that transitions need to be throughout your essay, not only at the beginning of each paragraph, though put them at the beginning of each paragraph, but also within the paragraphs. And here's the transitions from your checklist. I use transitions to lead the reader across parts of the text and to help the reader note how parts of the text relate back to earlier parts. And that's mainly an 8th grade edition, that you use transitions to show what has come before as well as what you're writing about at the moment. I used phrases such as, now here are a whole bunch of examples, so come back to this and use some of these. Now some argue, while this may be true, and etc., etc. Then here are the success criteria. I can use transitions to link parts of my argument. So each paragraph, use a transition which will be linking another reason to your claim. I can use transitions to help my reader follow when I'm stating a claim or a counterclaim, giving a reason, offering evidence. So the transition will tell the reader, let the reader know what you're doing at that point. And I can use transitions to link parts of the text to earlier parts, like we were just talking about. I can use argument transitions. Use this link. And I think this is also in your packet. There's lots of transitions that you can use for whatever need whatever you're trying to do. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to our examples again. Just going to back it up. Back to that paragraph, and you can see some of the transitions that are used. While many claim, starting it out with a transition that suggests that you're going to use a counterclaim, but is always a good transition to go into your rebuttals. Some say, it is true. Okay? So when you're giving evidence, a transition like it is true, or it is also said. And then when you're explaining, this highlights, is a good transition. Then one other example here. So this is an example of a supporting paragraph where you you prove your reason, so you're elaborating, but then you're also giving a counterclaim at the end. So one reason why teens should determine how to use their cell phones is because of the many positive ways to interact on social media. So that's my reason that's connected to the claim, which is that cell phones are actually beneficial. Now, prove it. Okay? So here's some evidence. Teens use cell phones to connect with friends, to work through difficult homework assignments, to explore. So I've given lots of examples. I could maybe use a comparison. Now I can give some more examples, add a quote, maybe add a definition. So not only do cell phones allow, but they also, so develop your paragraphs with multiple pieces of evidence, not just the one. Yes, but now we can go into a counterclaim. However, social media can have negative effects as well. And then I'm going to give evidence of that counterclaim and then explain it. So you can have your counterclaims all in one separate paragraph, or you can put counterclaims in your supporting paragraphs, in several or in all of them. Okay, and that's about it for today. Good luck with your writing, and remember to keep reading as well.